So hi, welcome Peter to our ongoing Vedic astrology course. This is lesson number 14 today, and
Yep. Mhm.
we'll start from where we left off in the
Yep.
last topic was
Yep.
incomplete. That is the divisional charts or the Varga charts. Okay, so we know now we've studied the concept of the Varga chart,
Mhm.
why Varga charts are important, and how you construct a Varga chart.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, not that you have to construct one manually, but then we've sort of understood the concept of it, what a Varga chart means.
Yep.
So, we've, after having studied the concept, we had seen one example of why Varga charts are important. Okay, we'll take up another two, three examples today. And then after Varga charts, then there's another lesson. I'll name it lesson number 15.
Yes, sir.
There's another lesson on the insights, some important insights into
Yep.
astrology. Okay,
Yep. Mhm.
so I'm sharing a screen with you.
Yes,
Okay,
sir. Yep.
okay. Okay, can you see?
Yeah, it's come up, sir. Just let the
Okay.
application start.
Mhm. No, 1 minute. So this is an example again, of married life and the importance of Navamsa. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So on the left hand side here is the Rashi chart, the D1. Okay, Rashi chart or D1.
Yes, sir.
And the on the right hand side is the corresponding Navamsa. Okay. So okay, now see when we have not studied what the prime determinants for marriage are, or for that matter, we have not started, topic wise
Mm-hmm.
predictions like marriage and then
Mm-hmm.
profession, etc., etc. But anyway, now since you know the concept,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I can tell you, explain to you. See, the prime
Yep.
determinant oblique significator for husband
Yeah.
and marriage in the Rashi chart is Jupiter. See, in all female charts,
Mm-hmm.
the prime determinant, the Jupiter as a planet is the prime significator in all female charts for the husband.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the prime determinant in this chart for marriage, prime determinant for marriage,
Mm-hmm.
uh, being Lord of the okay. Prime determinant is also Jupiter. Why?
Yes, sir.
Because Jupiter is the Lord of the seventh house
Yep.
with the Mool Trikona Rashi in it. So
Okay.
seventh house, the main house for marriage, most
Mm-hmm.
important. If it
Yep.
has a Mool Trikona house, then the Lord of that house becomes the prime determinant for marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Jupiter here in this horoscope on the left hand side is the prime determinant for marriage and the significator for husband.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yep.
so now being situated in the 11th, Jupiter being situated in the 11th, it is quite strong. Okay,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
why? Because it is prime determinant and situated in the 11th, which we've already studied is a very, very
Important house.
beneficial
Benefit
house.
house.
Okay,
Yep.
benefic house.
Mm-hmm.
The other two determinants for marriage and married life are moon.
Yes,
Why
sir.
moon? Because it is lord of the second house. Moon,
Uh-huh.
lord of the second, and Mercury, lord of fourth. See,
Mm-hmm.
marriage related houses are mainly second, fourth, seventh, and
Mm-hmm.
eighth also, if they
Yep.
have Mool Trikona Rashis in them. So here, moon, the other two determinants for marriage and married life are moon, lord
Mm-hmm.
of second, and Mercury, lord of fourth.
Fourth. Uh-huh.
None of the houses related to marriage. None of the houses related to marriage, that is the seventh, second, and fourth, are
Mm-hmm.
apparently weak
Week.
in the main Rashi chart. See the second house, the fourth house, and the seventh house. The marriage-related houses appear to be strong, as per the definitions of, or as per the definitions that we have already studied
Yes,
of
sir.
a house and a planet being strong.
Yep.
Okay, now the Venus, the overall Karaka means significator. Okay, Karaka is a Hindi word.
Yep.
Venus, the overall Karaka or significator for marriage in any horoscope. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Venus, the overall Karaka for marriage, is in its own Mool Trikona house.
Yep.
You can see that in the fifth house. In the fifth house.
Mhm.
So again, it is a well-placed, strong planet. Thus, significations for marriage and married life are apparently quite okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The girl was married at the right age. Okay. The girl got married at the right age, at the appropriate age. Okay. She lost her husband in the fourth year after her marriage.
Okay.
Now look at the Navamsa chart. Okay. Moon and Jupiter have come to the sixth house.
Yeah.
Moon and Jupiter have come to the sixth house. Jupiter is the Karaka for husband. Okay. And the sixth house is a disturbing house for marriage. Okay. Moon, she lost her husband. Look at the Navamsa chart. Moon and Jupiter have come to the sixth house, along with Saturn, the significator for good fortune. In the main chart, Saturn being Lord of the ninth house. Ninth house is the house of good fortune. Okay. Along with Saturn, the significator for good. So Saturn has also come to the sixth house in the Navamsa. Okay. So Moon, Saturn, and Jupiter are badly placed. Moon is in debilitation in the Navamsa. Okay. Jupiter is in the sixth house, the main Karaka for husband. Rahu and Ketu occupy fourth and tenth house. Fourth is the house of marriage and domestic peace. So as we studied, Rahu and Ketu in Kendras. Rahu in Kendras in the Navamsa are never good. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Mercury, the other significator for marriage. Mercury, the other significator for marriage. Why? Mercury it is the lord of the fourth house in the main horror. Has gone to the 12th house in the Navamsa. Okay, this paragraph is on Navamsa. There were some disputes regarding inheritance of assets of the husband, and she also had to suffer losses on this front. Assets of the husband, see, fourth house is for assets. But Mercury, lord of the fourth house, has gone to the 12th house in the Navamsa. Okay. This is borne out by the position of Mercury, bracket assets in the main chart. Okay. Going to the 12th, loss in the Navamsa.
Okay.
So this is how, we never make a prediction. When we see that, that all the significator or determinant planets in a given horoscope are looking strong and signifying, positive events, okay, then we don't predict the event without ensuring, or assuring or studying the Varga, the relative, related Varga chart. For marriage, D9 or the Navamsa is the pertinent Varga chart. Okay. So this is one example. Okay. So and now we take another example. Health and Shashtamsa. Health and Shashtamsa is D6. Okay. Shashtamsa is D6. Okay. Okay. This is the main chart. Okay. In the main chart, Venus is the prime determinant for health. Why is it the prime determinant for health? Venus, can you, okay, we'll come to that. I have already sent to you a table to write up on, the determinants. We'll study that when we see sixth house in any horoscope. If it has a Mool Trikona sign, the lord of that house becomes the prime determinant.
Okay.
Otherwise, the Lord of the Lagna with a moon Trikona sign, the Lord of the Lagna becomes the prime determinant for health.
Uh-huh.
Here in this chart, there is no Mool Trikona sign in the
Yeah,
sixth
correct.
house.
Uh-huh.
So the Lord of the Lagna, Libra, Venus becomes the prime determinant for health. So
Okay.
in the main chart, Venus is the prime determinant for health,
Mm-hmm.
sitting in the 11th house quite strongly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you can see it for yourself quite
Yeah.
strongly in the 11th house.
Yeah. Correct.
Venus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Venus. Yeah.
Mars is the ascendant lord of the Shashtamsa. You can see here. Mars is the ascendant lord of the Shashtamsa
Okay. Yeah. Correct.
and thus becomes additional determinant oblique significator for health of the native.
Uh-huh.
We've studied
Uh-huh.
this rule, no?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mars is debilitated in the main chart.
Okay.
Mars is
Okay.
debilitated in the main chart. Okay, it is in the 10th house
Yeah.
in
It has
Cancer, so
gone.
it is
Yeah.
debilitated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you look at the main chart in isolation, major health issues are not diagnosable. In the main chart, Mercury is the functional malefic planet, but sitting in its own Mool Trikona Rashi. Okay, so
Okay.
it doesn't become bad
Uh-huh.
in the 12th house. So it
Yes,
does
sir.
not become weak. Okay.
Mhm.
Mars, the debilitated planet in the main chart, apparently does not have anything to do with health. Here,
Uh-huh. Correct.
Mars
Yeah.
apparently doesn't have anything to do with health.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
as Mars is the additional prime determinant, now when we look at the Shashtamsa,
Mm-hmm.
we see that Mars is the additional prime determinant for health
Mm-hmm.
because it is the lord of the Lagna in the Shashtamsa, in
Okay. Yeah.
D6. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it is debilitated in the main chart. But as
Correct.
Mars is the additional prime determinant for health
Mm-hmm.
by being ascendant lord of the Shashtamsa or D6,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
it can have an adverse impact on account of its debilitation in the main chart
Mm-hmm.
because it is an additional determinant for health.
Mm-hmm.
Venus is the main determinant for health in the main chart. Mars is an additional determinant. Why? Because it is the lord of the Lagna in the ND6.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Note
Correct.
that it becomes exalted in the Shashtamsa. Mars has become exalted in the D6 Shashtamsa. But as we told, as we've already studied the rule, any planet that is already weak
Mm-hmm.
in the main chart will not gain strength if
Yes, sir.
it goes to a good position in the Varga chart also. It will
Yep.
never gain strength.
Yes.
Okay, so Mars cannot become any stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Note that it becomes exalted in the Shashtamsa, but that cannot help.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yep.
So on the health
Absolutely.
front, it can have an adverse impact, but
Mm-hmm.
that cannot be judged if you look at only the main chart.
Okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
in the Shashtamsa or D6, Venus, the primary health determinant of the main chart, is
Mhm.
aspected by the functional malefic of the Shashtamsa, that is Mercury.
Okay.
Why? Because it is lord of the sixth house in
Uh-huh.
the D6.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Venus is aspected by the malefic Mercury. Mercury, natural health significator. Mercury is the natural health significator
Mm-hmm.
for any horoscope. Why? Because it is Lord of Virgo, which
Mm-hmm.
is the sixth house of the natural zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
Mercury is taken as a natural significator for health in every horoscope. Okay,
Uh-huh.
or always bear in mind,
Mm-hmm.
which is the Lord of the sixth house, health
Uh-huh.
of
Mm-hmm.
the Shashtamsa.
Okay.
Rahu and Ketu aspect sixth house in the Shashtamsa. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Venus represents kidneys,
Mm-hmm.
sixth house represents kidneys and health.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Mars signifies surgeries.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
The native was operated upon for stones in the
Uh-huh.
kidneys.
Kidney.
In the main
Okay.
chart, Mars and Moon. In the main chart is D1. In
Mm-hmm.
the main chart, Mars and Moon are dispositors for each other.
Okay.
They are
Yep.
dispositors for each other. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This
Yep. Mm-hmm.
surgery happened in the Antardasha of Moon,
Uh-huh.
Pratyantardasha of Jupiter, which is afflicted by Mercury in the D6, in the Shashtamsa,
Okay.
and Sukshma of Mars. This is
Uh-huh.
when you can see it. I have not given the, okay, that
Mm-hmm.
Dasha chart I have not given. But this is when this surgery happened. Now,
Okay.
Peter, look, I give these write-ups because,
Mhm.
maybe when I am reading through it and explaining to you, maybe you will not be able to grasp it in one go. But
Correct.
when
Yeah.
you have the write-up in front of you and when you listen to my video
Correct.
again and again,
Correct.
then you will be, you can
Yeah.
just listen, pause,
Correct,
match
sir.
it with the write-up,
Correct.
and
Yeah.
then understand.
Yeah. Correct. Uh,
Okay?
Yeah. This recording is so important. That's why.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is the voice clear today?
yeah. Clear perfectly, sir.
Okay,
No
okay,
disturbance at all. Yeah.
okay.
Um,
So we'll go to the another one. Okay.
yep. Yep. Mhm.
So another chart for married life. Okay.
Mhm.
Another chart for married life.
Mhm.
So now this on the left hand side is D1,
Lovely chart. Okay.
married life. Need for divisional charts, why required? This I've put the heading.
Mhm.
In the main Rashi chart, Lord of seventh, Mercury is in its own house and in
Correct.
exaltation.
Notation. Correct.
Venus occupies its Mool Trikona house. Okay. Mool Trikona house in the eighth house, which is the house of, I think we've already done this anyway, which is the house of marital bonds. Lord of second house, the house representing family is in fourth, a good placement. In the
Okay.
Navamsa D9,
Uh-huh.
significator for husband Jupiter is debilitated.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sun, a functional malefic planet in the main chart, is debilitated in the Lagna in the Navamsa. Okay.
Oh,
Sun
okay.
becomes,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Sun is also secondary significator for husband in every
Uh-huh.
chart.
Yep.
Every female chart, Jupiter is the primary significator for husband. Sun is supposed to be the secondary significator for husband.
Okay. Yep.
Saturn, the significator for bed comforts, Lord of
Mm-hmm.
the 12th house.
Out of the house.
Okay. Is in the main chart, is debilitated in the seventh house of the Navamsa.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
In the Navamsa, Ketu aspects 12th, second, and fourth house, all marriage related houses,
Okay.
all connected with marriage. The
Marriage.
marriage
Okay.
culminated in a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Conclusion at times, just considering the main Rashi chart, could be misleading.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
And
Yep.
this chart we had already done, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
okay, this is another one which is no
Okay.
childbirth. Okay.
Yes, sir.
No children, no progeny, oblique childbirth.
Uh-huh.
Now look, in the main chart,
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter, the Putra Karak. In Hindi, Putra Karak, Jupiter, Putra means son.
Okay.
Jupiter, the significator for sun. Okay.
Yes, sir.
For sun. Okay. Putra Karak is sitting in the sixth. In the main chart, Jupiter, the Putra Karak,
Uh-huh.
is sitting in the sixth house.
Uh-huh.
Sun, the secondary significator for progeny. Sun is the
Uh-huh.
secondary significator for progeny in all horoscopes. But
Yes, sir.
progeny
Okay.
is also in the sixth. Mercury, Lord of fifth, is also in sixth. Mercury, Lord of fifth, is also in the sixth.
Okay.
Jupiter is also afflicted by Mercury, the most malefic planet. So the main chart is already bad.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
The main chart is already bad. Okay, so we need not actually look into the, if we want, we
Division.
can just avoid,
Yeah.
the D7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. But anyway, let's see in the Saptamsa, that is D7. Saturn as Lord of Ascendant becomes additional determinant for progeny.
Okay.
D7 is the relevant divisional chart for progeny. So Lord of the Lagna in the divisional chart, if there is a Mool Trikon Rashi in the Lagna, becomes an additional determinant for the matter. Okay, for the matter means progeny.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
In the Saptamsa, Saturn as Lord of the Ascendant becomes the additional determinant for progeny,
Yeah.
but is badly afflicted by Rahu in the main chart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Jupiter, Sun have improved placements. Now look, what are we looking at here? There's one rule that we studied, no, that if a planet is already badly placed in the main chart,
Okay.
it can never improve in the divisional chart. So what are we trying to study here? Jupiter and Sun, the significators for progeny, have improved placements in the D7 Saptamsa.
Yes, sir.
And even Saturn is sitting in the benefic 11th house in the
11th house.
Saptamsa.
Uh-huh. Correct.
All these significating planets have not blessed the native with progeny, as they are weak in the main chart. Already they are weak. So they cannot improve, by good placements in the divisional chart.
Chart. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And their improved positions in the Saptamsa did not help.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Position of Rahu Ketu in the Kendras in the D7 Saptamsa has not helped the cause, as it is always considered detrimental. Any Varga chart in the Kendras, in Rahu Ketu in 1, 4, 7, 10, it is not considered a good placement. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Conclusion: any planet that is weak in the main chart
Yeah.
cannot improve in the divisional chart.
Divisional chart. Uh-huh. Yes, sir.
So this example is, to bear out the tenet or the principle or the rule that any planet that is already weak in the main chart
Cannot be weak.
cannot,
Cannot be
improve
so
by going to a position of strength in the relevant
divisional
divisional
chart.
chart.
Yep.
It cannot. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So we'll take up another example now.
Yep.
Okay, contacted COVID on 21/11/2020. Is a combination of Saptamsa, main chart of course is there, and transit combinations.
Yes, sir.
Transit, okay. In the main Rashi chart, Venus is the PD means prime determinant. Venus is the prime determinant for health. Okay,
Yes,
Venus
sir.
becomes the prime determinant for health and is sitting strongly. It is well placed, sitting strongly, okay, in its own Mool Trigona Rashi.
Must be correct.
There are no indications for any serious health issues in the main horoscope. Okay. If we go only by the main chart, it would appear that the native is promised a disease-free, healthy life, which of course is true to a great extent. As the Lagna Lord, prime determinant for health, Venus is quite strong. However, in the D6, okay, Shashtamsa it is called, in the D6, Mars as Lagna Lord, an additional determinant for health, disturbs health front to some extent, as it is sitting with malefic planet Mercury, which is also the sixth D6 Lord, which is also the Lord of the sixth house in the D6. In such cases, very serious health issues are not indicated, neither can it be declared as a disease-free chart. We have to keep a watch on the transit along with the dasha periods. Okay, we have to keep a watch on the transit along with the dasha periods. Now we see the transit chart and the dasha when he was hit by COVID. Moon, Mercury, Moon oblique Mercury oblique Saturn was the period. Okay, Moon main period, Mercury sub period, and Saturn sub period. Moon representing lungs was in the fourth house. Fourth house, lungs, is for lungs.
Yes, sir.
Aspected by Rahu from the eighth. Serious disease and danger. Rahu aspects the natal positions of Sun and Saturn and Ketu. We have already studied this in transit. Okay, so you can go back and refer to that. Sun and Saturn. Ketu is aspecting Mars in the sixth. Mercury is the sixth lord of D6. Mercury is the evil sixth lord of D6.
Correct.
Mercury is a functional malefic planet in the divisional chart. Okay. Ketu aspects Mars in the sixth in D6. Note, Mercury is the Antardasha lord. I have given the dasha periods here when he was hit by COVID. This is the, I've taken the extract and pasted it here. Okay. So now, since now you've got the hang of it, okay. Okay, now this is another one. Problem with knees, surgery, COVID, all combined.
Yes, sir.
when we look into any matter, first we have to see the primary determinant for what we are
Uh-huh.
talking about. Okay.
Yep.
PD for health is functional malefic planet Jupiter and Moon. Okay.
Yep.
Now we are looking at the vulnerabilities in the main chart. Okay.
Uh-huh.
PD for health is functional malefic planet Jupiter and Moon. Okay. Why? Because it is Jupiter is the lord of the sixth house.
Sixth house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and Moon it is lord of the Lagna. Both have Mool Trikona Rashis, so they are determinants for health.
Yep.
Now, what are the vulnerabilities? Okay, in the main chart, Jupiter is closely afflicting 8th, 10th, 12th, and the 4th house where it is sitting. It is already sitting in the 4th house.
Correct,
You can
yeah.
see the degrees now, why it is afflicting, how it is afflicting. And it is afflicting 8th, 10th, 12th by aspect, obviously. Okay.
Yep.
So 8th, 10th, and 12th by aspect, and 4th house where it is sitting. Okay. The planets Mars and Saturn are weakened as their Mool Trikona Rashis are afflicted.
Correct. Yep.
Moon and Jupiter are both sitting in the 6th house in the Shashtamsa, D6.
Yep.
D6.
Yep.
Hence becoming still weaker as prime determinants for health. Okay, as it is, they are weak in the main horoscope, and they are both sitting in the 6th house in the Shashtam, in D6. The native during his lifetime could suffer mainly from ailments related to 4th, that is lungs and heart, 8th, accidents, 10th, knees, 12th, hospitalization.
Yes, sir.
And disease related to Saturn and Mars. Okay.
Yep.
On 4/2/2020, during Mars, Saturn, Rahu, Mercury, and Saturn, while playing badminton, the native injured his knee, had to undergo surgery. Mars is Karaka for surgery.
Yep.
Karaka means significator. Mars is significator for surgery and lord of afflicted 10th house, knees. Saturn, the most malefic planet, is in slight old age and is sitting in the weak Mool Trikona Rashi of debilitated Mercury. Ketu is in the 6th, which is very weak. Very weak because of its lord Jupiter. Mercury is debilitated. During this duration, he had to undergo 2 surgeries. And okay, now then he had COVID. On your left is the transit chart for 30/6/2020, when he contacted COVID during Mars, Mercury, Ketu, Saturn, Venus. In the transit chart, natal Mool Trikona of Venus is in the 4th, lungs, is afflicted by Rahu. Jupiter and Saturn, both functional malefic planets, are quite close and would have been even closer when he would have been infected. That is, we are talking about transit. Moon bracket lungs is in 4th, lungs, and under the close transit aspect of Rahu oblique Moon. May have been under close aspect of Ketu. This you can understand later because they are moving, So slightly earlier, Moon would have been in another house. Moon moves very fast now. In one house, it stays for about 2.25 days to 2 days. So a few days earlier, when he got infected.
So on the second paragraph, or on April 2nd, 2020, while playing badminton, this paragraph, we see it from transit chart or Shashtamsa.
Sorry?
Yeah, I wonder, because you say Ma is a paragraph for surgery, a lot of affected 10th house, knee, and Saturn is the most malefic. This one we look at from Shashtamsa, or we look at from transit, sir.
Can you speak a bit louder? I'm unable to.
Yeah. On the second paragraph, 4th of April 2020, while playing badminton, the native injured his knee and undergo surgery. Ma is the karaka for surgery and afflicted 10th house. This one we look it from Shashtamsa, or we look it from transit
No,
chart,
from the main.
Oh, okay, sir.
The main chart, okay, from the main
chart. Yep, okay, that's
it. Okay, main chart.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Yep, done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Main chart.
Everything
we are
clear,
looking
sir.
at the main chart.
Yep.
We're combining both. You see, we are looking at the main chart, Sastamsa, and then looking at the transit also.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So the transit chart would be the ultimate decider, the ultimate decision maker.
Well, the transit is always, the transit should generally agree. Transit, is as on a given day. Today, what is going to happen with me,
Uh-huh.
will depend on my dasha, antardasha, and where my planets are placed today in my transit, in my horoscope. That is called
Okay.
transit.
Yep.
Okay. So that decides what happens to me
Yep.
on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, sir.
1 second, just
Yes,
hold
no
the line.
problem, sir.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Wow.
So this is, how we studied divisional charts. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
And of course, when we start topic wise, now we've already, now from the next class onward, we are going to take up topic wise. Okay. A different topic wise, all the important topics like marriage is going to be a topic, health is going to be a topic. So in those, we'll be studying the, relevant, wherever it is required, we'll be studying the Varga charts, divisional
sir.
charts also. So
So
I
it would
think
go
this,
along. Yes, sir.
this ends our, this ends our
14.
the
14
divisional
class.
charts. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I am going to stop the recording
Yep.
and start another recording
Yes, sir.
for insights into astrology. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to start the recording.